Welcome into the Skinny Podcast. It's the weekly potpourri edition. I'm Richard Skinner, Local12.com digital sports columnist and editor with Rick Brewing. As always, we're talking local sports, and we got a lot to talk about as we're doing this on a Friday because the Bengals played the preseason opener on a Thursday. Normally, we do this on a Wednesday or a Thursday, but because the Bengals play, we decided to wait to kind of break it down after the game. So, Rick, we've got a lot to get to. Reds doing Reds things where they win a couple, lose a couple, win a couple, lose a couple. We'll get into some of that. Maybe a little college basketball talk as well. We got a lot to get to.
Will we even get into the Reds? Like, what else is there to say? Like, I've got nothing on the Reds for you. I hope you have a topic because it's just the same thing every single week with them. I have nothing about them. But the Bengals.
I want to say, I like Zach Littell. Is that okay?
Yeah, actually, that was maybe the story of the week was Zach Littell showing up in his Reds debut and pitching well. That's nice.
Yeah, the Reds, and let me give you this: if Paul Skeens pitched 50 innings against the Reds, how many runs do they score in those 50 innings?
The over-under is set at a half.
I think I'll take the over. Somebody's going to run into one, but yeah, that's a good.
I think you're right, but if you're setting the line in Vegas, I don't think you can go over a half.
I like that.
I mean, they looked completely overmatched.
But Terry Francona said it was so fun. Did you see his quote? I hate to because I know people want to hear Bengal stuff. Did you?
No, that's fun.
Did you see Terry Francona's comments after the game?
I did not.
I thought we had some good at bats, and we didn't go chasing him. It sounded like Buttermaker or the kid in the Bad News Bears where we did have 2 foul tips, and seriously,
this is the major leagues, Tito.
Yeah.
All right, Bengals final score was 34-27. They lose to the Eagles, which obviously who cares about the final score? Yep. But Skinny, we got to look at the first teamers there. The offense trucked right down the field. Couldn't have looked sharper. Joe Burrow was 9 of 10 for 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, had nearly a perfect quarterback rating. Shamar Chase had 4 catches, 77 yards, had the big bailout on the early drive on 3rd down, had the touchdown catches. I mean, he was making plays. They couldn't have looked better, I don't think, if you were a Bengals fan. Everyone's going to read too much into this because the starters actually played this year. So we're going to try to take more from these preseason games than we probably should. But what was your overarching takeaway just from what you saw of the starting group out there?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It's hard not to. It's funny, Burrow kind of deadpan that he didn't think he played all that great. It was pretty.
Would you say average was the term he used?
I mean, honestly, listen, I like the guy. I like the standard he tries to set, right? All those things are great. I like the competitor in him, and he's striving for a perfect bar, if you will. I mean, I missed the first throw. Yeah, you did. It was a terrible throw to T. Higgins, and then you completed 9 in a row. I mean, can we, at some point we just go, yeah, I like my performance. I did, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. Unless I know it's against Eagles backups, I get it. I know they're not. Now, they did throw a 0 coverage blitz at him, which I thought was interesting in a preseason game where basically that's just literally safeties are coming, everybody's coming, and you're man-to-man across the board. That's the one where Chase caught the out route and turned it into a long touchdown. So that was good to see because he actually had to face a blitz down and make a quick pass and all those things. But at some point, can you just go, that was really good. Honestly, I think that was great. I mean, what else? Listen, you did miss the first throw. I get it, man. You're a human being, you serial killer. It's okay.
Well, I do like the people like ourselves or anyone who does their post-game podcast who then try to dissect that about like, did you think it was an average performance? No, I thought it was better than average, actually. This is just Joe holding himself to. It's like, guys, this is Joe being Joe. This is what he does all the time. He tries to give you whatever quarterback cliche thing he can say to make himself seem humble and dissatisfied and always striving for more or whatever. He was unbelievable. He couldn't have looked any sharper than he looked. It's fine.
If he'd have been 10 for 10, he got, the one ball placement on that 3rd and 4 was just a hair behind my guy. And thank God I have Jamar Chase to make that catch.
No, when quarterbacks don't have anything real to say, they always go back to spinning it. Yeah, I just wasn't spinning as well as I wanted to. It wasn't coming off my fingertips.
Correct. But again, it's against Eagles backups. I mean, I think that's what you would expect, right? I mean, it's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and all the weapons and all of those things. I guess the flip side would have been we'd all be scratching our heads going, oh, that was ugly. Nobody got hurt. That was a great thing. That's, I think, probably what everybody was holding their breath about of, oh, gosh, Joe's going to get hit. I mean, the one time, remember, he had to kind of roll out on a play and roll away from some pressure, and then you're wondering, oh, gosh, don't get hit. I mean, listen, I know people are going to dissect Lucas Patrick and the penalty was bad and all those things. And I've seen some people talk about, he was terrible. Was he terrible? I mean, did Joe Burrow get hit last night?
Well, I think last night was perfect for what you wanted out of it for Joe Burrow's case because he did feel the pressure. He got that 0 blitz he had to avoid, feel the timing on. He had the play you're talking about where he got chased and had to get rid of it. that's what you want. You wanted him to feel the pressure, feel the timing of it all without actually having to take the hit.
Right.
So from that perspective, I think it couldn't have worked out better. You mentioned Lucas Patrick, the offensive line. What did you think of that group? Because I think that's one of the more interesting storylines coming into the season here.
Yeah, I thought they were fine. The thing is, listen, I get it. You don't want your guy to get hit. It's Joe Burrow. People hold their breath. We've seen him get hurt, all of those things, right? And so fans are a little and this offensive line historically has not been great. I understand all those things. But when you drop back 700 times, he's going to get hit, guys. It's going to happen. This offensive line wasn't trash last year. It was okay. And the guard play wasn't very good. I get that. The PFF grades tell you what they are. But when you drop back 700 times, your quarterback is going to get hit in this league. Every quarterback's going to get hit in this league. It amazes me that Bengals fans think that Joe Burrow should be put in a plastic bubble and should never get hit. He's going to get hit. It is what it is.
Do you think the coaching staff saw anything last night that would have them shuffling guys around already?
I don't know about the shot. I think you'll see Cody Ford get first team reps the next game just because it is a competition. So if you're going to do this, I don't want to call it in a fair way. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do this to evaluate one guy with the first teamers, wouldn't you like to evaluate the other guy with the first teamers to have all the good pieces around him? Because the evaluation is really hard when if you're only getting second team reps in a competition and maybe you're having to make up for some guy missing a block here and you're covering for him there. And I just don't think that's a great way to evaluate. And I think they'll do a good job of that. I mean, Cody got first team reps at guard the first week of camp. Lucas was getting some second team reps at center, and probably, truth be told, he's probably going to be the backup center on game days, even if he's the starting guard. And so then Lucas got hurt for a couple of practices. Then when he came back, he took, I think the last 2, I think the last 3 practices, he got first team reps at right guard. I think they're trying to evaluate that now those ways. And maybe this was the perfect storm of, okay, you got first team reps going into the game. We'll give you first team reps now. Maybe now in the next 6 practices, Lucas gets first team reps for a couple of days, and then Cody Ford gets first team reps the rest of the week, and then Cody gets first team reps against Washington. Maybe not. Maybe they saw enough out of Lucas to go, nope, you're the guy. Cody, you're a Swiss Army knife. You're the guy that's going to be the backup swing tackle, because right now our swing tackle is either Devin Cochran or Jalen Rivers. And so, Cody, we saw you do it last year in that role. That's the right role for you. And maybe that's what they do with this. So I do think you'll see Cody get first team reps against Washington. If not, then obviously the competition's over with.
I mentioned because the starters are out there, people are going to overreact to what the offense did. But
Joe Burrow was on pace. Joe Burrow was on pace to throw for 488 yards. Jamar Chase was on pace to catch 16 balls for 308 yards. Rick, come on.
Well, but the flip side of that, of course, is everyone's also going to overreact to the way the defense performed, which wasn't good at all. Let me ask you this. Were you more concerned about the secondary, the lack of tackling up front, the big gash plays in the run game? What concerned you about what you saw from the defense? Or is it all just like, hey, it's the first game, it's very early, we don't know?
I'm not using first game for that group. I'm sorry. Listen, I know vanilla, and I know they didn't blitz. And listen, they showed some looks in camp that they didn't show in this game. I saw more blitzing in camp. I didn't really see any in this game. So I'll give that part a pass. But Myles Murphy on the 38-yard Will Shipley run was a disaster. I mean, just a disaster. And then, again, I know you're down. And again, part of this too is you're down Trey Hendrickson. You're down Cam Taylor-Britt. You're down Dax Hill. But you're also, well, I guess the good news is, they don't play the Eagles this season. And thank goodness if they did. I mean, if Jalen Hurts couldn't play and they had to play Tanner McKee, good Lord, how do you stop Tanner McKee and Will Shipley? I mean, good Lord. Thank God it wasn't Saquon and Jalen Hurts. It might have been 1,000-0 in a quarter.
Seriously. I mean, it was ugly. It was everyone's ugly. Saying,
listen, I've been part of the hype train in camp about the defense. It's like, they're making plays, and they're making plays against the Bengals' first-team offense. And look at the energy and the enthusiasm, and they're flying around. They were a disaster.
Yeah. How much of that do you think is disheartening for the coaching staff? Because they've been talking them up a little bit too, saying like, hey, we like what we've got. Skinny, I mean, looking at what they did this offseason, the spots they needed to upgrade, they basically went out, drafted someone, and were like, hopefully this guy's going to be a plug-and-play, fill-in piece, and they've got a new defensive coordinator. I've been looking at that all along as like, I don't know how much better this defense is really going to be. Hopefully they'll be about what they were last year, maybe slightly better because they're more athletic and youthful. But like, I don't really understand the reason for optimism going into this year with all the moving parts they have. And based on what we saw last night, I would be concerned. How disheartened do you think they are about it?
I don't know if they're disheartened a ton. Like I said, I mean, what did you show? I mean, I know Zach even said, listen, we didn't do much. We wanted our guys to try to win one-on-ones and see what that looked like. And that's disappointing because they didn't win one-on-ones, whether it was in coverage, whether it was, up front. I'm not going to go crunch the tape of a preseason game. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm just not. Did they twist and stunt much up front? It didn't seem like they did. But again, in one-on-ones, like I said, the Will Shipley run, Miles Murphy got abused by a rookie right tackle. I mean, that can't happen. That's the kind of stuff that you go, that's what's disheartening, that's the stuff that just simply can't happen.
Well, speaking specifically of Miles Murphy, he looked like a disaster out there. I mean, looked just completely overmatched, unprepared, unready, didn't know where he was supposed to be. On the flip side, Shamar Stewart might have been the most interesting storyline from this whole thing, Skinny. I thought, from the untrained eye, what I saw from Shamar Stewart last night, he clearly looked better than Miles Murphy and Joseph Osai, in my opinion. What was your take on that?
Yeah, and that's what's happened in camp. And he's gone up mostly against second teamers. He's gotten a handful of first team reps. They've moved him all across the line from both ends. I don't think he's played left tackle or, on the nose because he's not a nose, but he's played some 3 technique. I know they've talked about playing him at 5, so he may have played that as well. So they've moved him all around, and he's dominated the second team. He's gotten some first team reps in there and at least shown up. And I think what you saw last night is he is just clearly more athletic than backups in the NFL. I'd like to see it against starters. Hopefully, hopefully Washington plays its starters in game 2. I'm going to guess they will. And hopefully Shamar gets more meaningful full reps. But yeah, you saw exactly what we've seen in the week plus that he's practiced. He is an athletic freak. And he can do some things that you just go, wow. You just need to see consistency. You need to see the ability to finish, all of those things. But yeah, he did exactly what you've seen in camp against backup players.
Aside from just the athleticism, though, Skinny, there's also moments where it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a screen or a rollout, something where it's a change of direction. It's a misdirection type play that he's got to react, diagnose what's going on, and kind of get to the spot. It doesn't seem like he's out of position on those things. It seems like he's seeing them quickly. He's diagnosing them. He's understanding. He's picking up on the defensive scheme, but also being able to read and react to the offense a little bit already. This is a guy that, 2-3 weeks ago, we were talking about this, and I said, like, what are the 1 through 10? Where do we think his chances are of having a productive rookie season? I was at like 2.5, 3, maybe. I think.
Yeah, I was probably in that regard too, just because
I think you said 3.
Yeah, you're not taking any reps.
They found a way to get it done and get him in camp, thankfully. And within a very short amount of time, I got to give the guy credit. I would say that 2 or 3 has bumped way up to like 5 or 6 all of a sudden, partly because the guys in front of him look terrible.
Yeah, no, and that's, like I said, that's, again, I'm part of the shameful hype train of this defense, of what it's done, just because of what I've seen it do in camp. And I know that the same thing's been talked about Shamar Stewart. If we're all overhyping him, and maybe we were. I mean, we're just reporting what he's done, which has been impressive. You saw what we've seen. I mean, that's really what you've seen in camp for the most part. Is he shows up big time.
Yeah, I'll admit. I mean, I'm completely pleasantly surprised by that. A couple weeks ago, I thought, oh man, what a disaster pick this is looking like it's going to turn out to be, when they really needed to hit on a guy at this position. And all of a sudden, he's kind of showing off why they made the decision that they did. Kudos to him, because he came in a tough situation. It could have easily gone a different way, but at least for now, he looks like he's on the right track. Skinny, what else? Jermaine Burton was another guy I wanted to ask you about. I know there wasn't a ton there, but he played a decent amount of snaps. What did you see from him? Do you feel like he's progressing the right way, the way a lot of people thought he might earlier this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, he's been so good in camp. I mean, he's been the right place, it's not just flash plays. It's not just him down the field. It's him sitting down in his zone. One of my favorite plays he made in camp, I think it was a 7-on-7. It might have been 11-on-11. It was a red zone drill. And he sat down in his zone right at the goal line. And he was playing with the ones because Burrow was the quarterback in the drill. Sat down at the goal line and then literally kind of like sat to the point where he dropped to his knees to make sure he kind of sat down and caught a touchdown pass. And I'm like, okay, that's a guy who's kind of getting it a little bit. I talked to Troy Walters, the wide receivers coach, one day about a bunch of wide receivers. And I said, last year obviously was a disaster. What is he doing right this year? Is it as simple as lining up? And he goes, it is. He goes, last year in camp, it was literally me on every play going, no, move 2 steps there. No, move 2 steps there. You got to line up closer there. He goes, I'm not doing that now. He said he's coming out of the breaks at the right time. He's reading coverages better. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a redemption story if he pulls this off and he's at least on the right path to do it. The punt return was fabulous. I don't know if he's the full-time punt returner. It may still be Charlie Jones. I do think those guys are receivers 4 and 5, however you want to put them. And then there's a battle for receiver 6 and or 7 if they keep 7. I don't think they keep 7. I do know they'll keep 6, and it's a wide battle for that spot. But I think both Charlie Jones and Charlie showed up last night too, in my opinion. I thought he had some good plays as well. I think they've kind of solidified themselves in those roles. And again, this has got a chance to be a great redemption story because the guy has obviously got that punt return showed all the athletic ability of Jermaine Burton.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, the talent's there. There's a reason they took him where they did last year. And like you said, if he can somehow figure this out, because it was another situation, not quite to the point with Shamar Stewart's a different situation, obviously, with the holdout, the contract negotiations, but for a totally different reason, Jermaine Burton was looking like a disaster pick after last season. If he turns that around for them, I mean, it would almost be like it's almost like benefiting this draft. You didn't have him at all last year, but maybe he gives you another player this year to work with.
I know this is going to be blasphemy because everybody loves him, and he is a good little guy, and to his credit, he kind of solidified himself as a number 3 receiver. He's just more dynamic than Andre Yoshavash. I like Andre. He does what he's supposed to do. He is literally, if you're a coach, you go, that's why he plays, because he does exactly what I need him to do. Block downfield? Yeah, he's going to block. Run the right route? Yeah, he's going to run the right route. He's going to show up in the red zone? Going to show up in the red zone. Is he dynamic? No, not so much. But he's going to do all the things that a coach loves, right? I mean, he's dependable. He's all those things. Jermaine is the wild card. Jermaine is he going to do the right thing? I think he's going to do the right thing. He looks like he's shown to do the right thing. Can I trust him in a game? And then he's going to make a big play for you. So I think he just gives you a much more dynamic option if he's on the field with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't know if you can do that more snaps than Andre because you want dependable guy, but dynamic guy. If he's going to show more dependability, and so far so good. I mean, been on time. He's been at practice. I told you, I mean, even just looking at his face, Rick, I mean, last year he looked like a freaking zombie. Like he didn't know where he was, what time of day it was, why he was there, why people were mad at him, why teammates were mad at him, why coaches were mad at him. What day was it? What day did I get any sleep? He looks like just physically is just, you can look in his eyes and go, that's a different dude. Does it keep up? I sure hope so for his sake.
Yeah, it could be a really cool story for both him and the Bengals. What else, if anything, stood out to you about this first preseason game?
Yeah, I thought Barrett Carter showed up, and which was good. He's been good in camp. And again, the caveat is the Eagles starters didn't play, so they were playing against the backups of the backups. McKinley Jackson the same way. McKinley's, I don't think, has had a great camp. It's been an okay camp. I thought he was physically dominant at the point of attack at times last night. Again,
was he the one that had the dumb penalty, though?
Yeah, the dumb penalty. There was 2 dumb penalties. There's a DJ Ivey offsides on a field goal, and then there was the McKinley Jackson hitting the snapper. You can't hit the snapper on
long snap.
Yeah, so he got that one. It wiped off a field goal, and they scored a touchdown. I mean, you can't have 2. So I'm going to guess that Darren Simmons on that plane ride home from Philly had steam coming out of the top of his head because it's just he is such a stickler for stuff. I can't imagine he's very happy with those things.
Yeah, that is not going to go over well. Any final thoughts on the Bengals before we move on here?
No, I know it's always overreaction, usually Monday in the NFL, both good or bad. This is kind of overreaction Friday. But listen, we can do the whole, it was against backups, but you wanted to see Joe Burrow. You wanted to see the starters. They did literally to a T what you hoped they would do. Dominate, execute, and not get hurt. And so let's see what a full half against hopefully Washington starters looks like.
All right. Before we do our college football segment, I want to talk some college football win totals, but I do got a little Taco Bell interruption here. I've got
yes, my
Taco
goodness.
Bell meal for the day.
What
this
you got?
Day number 8 of eating Taco Bell every single day during the entire month of August. I've got the cheesy toasted breakfast burrito right here, Skinny.
Nice. So have you done mostly lunch and dinner foods or mixed it into some breakfasts?
I had one breakfast last Saturday, I believe it was.
Okay.
And everything else has been lunch or dinners.
What did you have for breakfast then?
The same as this. The cheesy toasted breakfast burrito is a top 5 all-time menu by Taco Bell. It's unbelievable. My
guy Paul Daner is so impressed with you attempting this.
I'm told you, like, people think this is hard to do. It's not. I'm craving Taco Bell at this point. I want it more now that I've had it for 8 straight days.
All right, I'm just going to take a break and watch you chomp for a minute. Oh, so delicious. What do we got? We got some egg. Obviously, we got the tortilla. What else we got in there?
Potatoes. This is Fiesta potato.
Oh, Fiesta potato. No meat?
No meat.
Sorry,
I've caught you.
Yeah, I've caught you in mid-chew. That's a bad place
to be. Dry. The good thing is there's melted nacho cheese sauce in there.
Wow.
That's the key. All right.
So what did you hang on? Whoa. I'm not letting you get away. You're not getting away that easy. Just taking a bite of your freaking taco.
I mean, I'm going to keep going. I got questions, but go ahead.
So what's the wife think of this?
Well, I do think about that sometimes. Like last week, she's just over there working. We both work from home on Thursdays. So she's just out there working. I come out of the office from doing the podcast. She says, how was the podcast? And I go, oh, it was pretty good. By the way, I got to eat at Taco Bell every day for the next month. And I just think like,
did she blame me?
Really react to that
Did she blame me for that? Did she go, is your podcast partner an idiot? Did he really put you up to that? You had to,
no.
That wasn't on him.
She's fully aware that I'm the problem. She's fully aware of that. The thing is, she doesn't really seem all that bothered by it. She kind of just was like, oh, okay. And like, let it go. And now she's fully supportive. She's enjoying it. She's had like Taco Bell once or twice with me throughout this event. She's not joining me in the challenge, obviously, but she's letting me do my thing. She doesn't care.
All right. So what's been like the daily budget for this? Are we doing in the $5 to $7 range or a little bit more?
That's actually been the problem. I started out without a plan of how I was going to order Skinny.
Right.
So originally it was like, I was kind of thinking I would just get my usual thing, which is the value menu items. I get like the cheesy bean and rice burrito, which is like $1, and spicy potato soft taco a lot. So I'm usually in like a $3 range for my Taco Bell lunches. But then people were texting me like, come on, you got to try everything on the menu. You got to try to you got to make that part of it challenge. And I was like, I guess it is a good point that if you're going to eat Taco Bell every day for an entire month, you're going to get done with that and then be like, no, I don't know what that menu item is like. Like if someone asked me about the Taco Bell menu, I should know about it after this month, right?
That's a fair point, but there's got to be something on. Like there's always something. Like I would say this. Like I'm a big Mexican food fan. I probably don't eat it as much. We probably don't eat out with Mexicans. We have some friends that don't like Mexican food, so we don't go out. When we go with them, we don't go to a Mexican restaurant. I mean, we had actually last Saturday we had Mexican carry out, which was great. So I love Mexican food. So I was one that back in the day, I could not stand refried beans. They just looked like yak, right? They always do. They just look, when you're a kid, you're like, I'm not eating yak. Well, as I've matured and put a little hot sauce on that, stir a little cheese into it, refried beans are delicious. But there's always got to be something on a menu. No matter where you go, you're like, I'm not eating that. Is there something there you're looking up? Nah, I can't do that.
I haven't seen it yet, but there are definitely, I'm not going to eat everything on the menu. There are definitely some things I'm just not trying.
I don't expect that.
Black beans or vegetarian options of certain things. Like it's not, but it's fine. But there's always like, it's always like the third or fourth option on a burrito. And it's like, I'm getting the other options. Sure. I'm trying it.
I didn't know if it was like some kind of fiery thingamajig. You're like, nah, that sounds awful.
Well, I like all the hot stuff. That's no problem for me. I don't think there's anything on there that like I couldn't eat or I'd be worried about eating. The issue has been, Skinny, is I've been taking recommendations. I've been telling people like, what should I eat tomorrow? Sure. So people text me like, you got to try this. All these people that eat at Taco Bell, I think, are eating like $14 meals every time because these tacos they send me, they're like $7 a piece.
So here's the thing. If you spend over $10 at Taco Bell, you're a dumbass.
Yes.
You're either a glutton or a dumbass. One of the two. It's one of the two.
That's not what Taco Bell is for me. Taco Bell got me through some really hard, lean times when I was a young journalist making like $14,000 a year, trying to figure out how to scrape by. I'd cover 6 high school football games in a weekend and then eat like 6 $1 burritos. Okay.
Sure,
cheesy bean and rice burritos got me through some hard times in life. That's why I'm loyal to Taco Bell, not because of $7 grilled cheese burritos. So
yeah, like I think I told you, I'm a creature of habit, and so for me, it's always 4 hard shell tacos and then I drizzle the hot sauce on it. Pretty simple. And then the worst, I guess is that usually I have those, and it's like, damn, I should have ordered one more. So I started doing that with Coney's. Like the other night, I had Coney's for dinner. It's very rare, but occasionally you just have a hankering for Coney's, right? So for a while, I was getting 4 and only eating 3. 1 would be left over. It would sit in the fridge for a week, and I'd throw it away. So this time around, I had 3, and I went, damn it, I wish I'd ordered 4. There's no happy medium in there, right?
So you've always just been ordering an extra Coney, just in case. Just an extra.
And there's been times
an extra bite or two.
Yeah, there's been times I've eaten that extra Coney, but usually after the 3rd, you're like, I'm good. I'm good. And then it always like, I'll have that for lunch tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and goes. And then the next day comes and goes. And you look at the Coney a week later, like, I'm not eating. The Coney's going, it's getting in the garbage. So I did. I ordered 3, wolfed down 3. I hadn't eaten all day. And I went, man, maybe I should have gotten a 4th.
It feels like you're saying the perfect Coney amount is like 3 1/3.
Yes, probably. And that's probably
you need one more bite.
That's probably the same thing for if I got a fifth taco, I'd probably take 2 bites and go, I'm good.
Yeah. You just need that extra bite to confirm, like, yeah, actually, I'm full. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, correct.
All right. I think that's enough Taco Bell talk, probably.
Take one more bite. I got to see one more bite. You can't you're not going to try to do this whole one bite. Oh, okay. I didn't see.
I'll finish the whole thing. I'll finish the whole thing on air, but we've got a little college football talk I want to get into.
Hang on. Go ahead. Take your bite. Chew it up. I'm proud of you. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Here's the thing. I should have asked you, because you're in pretty good shape. I should have asked you to weigh yourself.
I did. It's in the first video. 162.2 is what I got.
What are we at now?
Before yesterday, I was at 160. So I'd lost 2 pounds. But, which I told you I would do.
Wait a minute. We may have stuck on the Taco Bell diet, may be a weight loss.
I told you that in the last podcast. I told you I will lose weight because there's no side dishes. It's not like I eat super healthy all week. So it's like, this will be probably fewer calories than I normally eat. Wow. And it has been. But yesterday was kind of like the in-laws took me out for early birthday dinner. So I ate Taco Bell and a big dinner. So I might be pushing 162 again today. But
yeah, where did we go for birthday dinner?
Just dead low.
Okay, nice.
And they're Anderson people. We're Newport, so it's a nice meeting spot.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. All right. College football win totals. Ohio State 10.5 is the over under for Ohio State. Cincinnati 6.5. Kentucky 4.5. Let's start with the Buckeyes. Aside from just the 10.5 win total, Skinny, they're plus 190 to win the Big Ten, and they are plus 650, which is the second best odds overall behind Texas at plus 550 to repeat as national champions. Do you see any value in any of those numbers?
The Big Ten championship, I do, because I think there's a potential for one loss there, and that's where I'm going to probably, if push came to shove, I'd probably take the win total under.
I mean, they've got 2 new coordinators,
a new quarterback. They got Jeremiah Smith, and he seems hell bent to say to hell with all y'all. We're doing this again, which is pretty good.
And he might be good enough to do that. And Caleb Downs is awesome too.
He might be good enough to do that. And to take any quarterback and go, it's like, Jamar, just throw the ball to me. I'll figure out a way to do something with this thing. And he probably will. I do like the value of them almost 2-1 to win the Big Ten. I like that value.
I feel like they should be flipped with Penn State here, though. Penn State's 230, they're 190. I feel like they should be like 230.
And I get it. I think the problem is, do you trust James Franklin to win a big game?
No. I mean, and that's probably exactly why Vegas has it this way, and because there's going to be more people betting on Ohio State than there is Penn State. But I mean, they lost 14 guys to the NFL, Skinny. Do you like them opening up with Texas on August 30th?
No, because to your point, Texas is arguably the best team in the country. To your point, you've got new coordinators and a new quarterback in the opener. And that's where I go back to whoever loses that game is still very much going to be in the college football playoff picture, unless they just get the doors blown off and you're like, oh, God, that team's a disaster. I don't expect that from either team. I expect a great game. I mean, what an opener. So I am expecting a loss there just because of the toughness of the Big Ten. That feels like that's another loss, but I don't see more than another loss. A second would, I guess, be in the picture. I just don't see it. And so that's why I think the value is the under, because even if they beat Texas, there still is the potential for 2 losses in the conference.
I mean, what would that be? Penn State and Michigan? Because you got to go to Michigan this year?
And the naturalness of just a slip up, and they don't do it usually, but it's just I just don't think they beat Texas in that opener. If they do, Godspeed to them, because then they are going to be then the 650 is going to look like a value play. 650 just doesn't. That's a lot in today's day and age for college football playoff.
Yeah, to repeat especially. I'm with you there. I don't think I like them to repeat in terms of taking them as a bet. I mean, they'll be in the conversation certainly, but yeah, maybe you consider the plus 190 to win the Big Ten. I don't love it's plus money. You're at plus 104 right now to take the over 10.5 wins, but I don't love that either. I think Brian Hartline taking over the offense, Matt Patricia taking over the defense. There's just a lot of moving parts, man. Not that those guys are going to be bad. Brian Hartline's already done the job before, but it also didn't go all that great when Brian Hartline had the job. And there's a reason they brought Chip Kelly in for last year. So I don't know. I think there are going to be a little bit of growing pains for this Ohio State team, but maybe Jeremiah Smith's just that good that it doesn't matter. He gets you through those. You win the game anyway, and then you go on from there and beat up on the rest of the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't play the win total, but if I had to, I'd play it under. I think the one value that you just mentioned, getting them at almost 2-1 to win the Big Ten, that feels like value to me.
Yep. All right, Cincinnati 6.5 is the win total. 33-1 plus 3,300 to win the Big 12. UCF and Arizona are both home games for them, so I feel like you've got two winnable Big 12 games there. You also have Bowling Green and Northwestern State on the schedule, so I feel like you can talk yourself into 4 wins pretty easily with their schedule. The question is, can you find 3 more in there, Skinny, to get them over that 6.5 number?
Yeah, I mean, the opener with Nebraska is probably a loss, right? They got to play at Kansas. Iowa State's usually good, but it is at home. You mentioned UCF as a win. They got to play at Oklahoma State. Who knows what they're going to be like? You got to play at Utah. That's probably a loss. They've got BYU at home. That's probably a toss-up game, but you'd lean towards BYU, and they got to play at TCU. I can't I can't find 7 wins. I'm sorry. I could find 6. I can't find 7.
That's how I feel too. Just from a betting perspective, it feels like the under is the play here. And that's before even factoring in the way that they've flamed out each of the last few seasons under this coaching staff. Do you feel more confident in that and how that's going to go? Do you feel like they have it's year 3, they have a more solidified roster, they're more on track here, or do you feel pretty much the same?
Prove it to me. And to me, it would be almost if things go sideways, listen, losing to Nebraska, no shame in that if they do, and I think they do. You come back, you're right, to your point, you have 2 winnable games, although Bowling Green's not going to be a pushover, but you're going to win the next 2 games. But then to me, it feels like the last 2 seasons, when the slide has come, it has come, and there's no stop. It's like you're like trying to stop the landslide with your 2 hands going, I got this, I'm going to save the village. No, you're not. Here it comes, man. It's just take it, and you're getting steamrolled. And it feels like in year 3 that there's nothing else Scott Satterfield can say. There's no other message he can give. They seem like they can't stop when the landslide comes. And, I mean, if Brendan Sorsby gets hurt, where are we at there, too? So I can't – I hope they do. I think UC fans deserve this because this has just been awful. I just think if you're a UC fan, just have this season be the disaster it could be and get rid of this clown and start over.
Yeah, picked 11th, I believe, in the Big 12 this year. I don't love, I mean, you're obviously not picking them to win the Big 12, I don't think. No one's excited about that, even if it's 33-1 odds. And like we said, I think you're taking the under on the win total here. So I guess it's somewhat of a pessimistic outlook for the Bearcats heading into this year again. This is kind of a precursor. Obviously, the college football season starts here in about 2 weeks. So we'll come back. We'll talk about some storylines maybe next week or the week before it all kicks off for these teams. But just wanted to get the win totals out there and talk a little bit about college football to get the ball rolling. Kentucky is at 4.5 as their win total for the year. They are 300-1 to win the SEC. They were picked second last above only Mississippi State in the SEC preseason poll. Skitty, can you get me over 4.5 wins when you look at this Kentucky schedule?
All right, so I can get you to 4. Toledo,
Eastern Michigan,
Tennessee Tech, and Tennessee Tech. Yes, those are my 4.
Can you steal another one somewhere?
Well, so here's the other home games they play.
And by the way, Vandy was picked ahead of them in the poll, and they got to go there. So I agree with you that they can win that game, but that's not a gimme this year.
Correct. So here's the other home game. I'm not even going to look to the road. I mean, I'm just not. The road, we'll throw that up in the air and go, we're good there. You got me on the road. I mean, Georgia, Auburn, Louisville, South Carolina. Can you compete with South Carolina? You should. Can you compete with Auburn? Probably. Can you compete with Louisville? Sure. But I can't give you those as wins. So here's the homes, and I'm not telling you these are possible wins, but these are the homes to try to steal a 5th win. Ole Miss, Texas, Tennessee, Florida.
Maybe Tennessee's going to be way worse than people are thinking. Maybe they're actually not good because there was a lot of.
They lost their quarterback in to the transfer portal.
A lot of drama and turnover there this year. It felt like in this offseason. Maybe they're headed for an unexpected bad year, but I don't think they're going to be worse than Kentucky.
I mean, Kentucky has 50 new players on its roster.
And shout out our guy from Incarnate Word who's going to lead the team at quarterback.
He played at Auburn at one point. Texas A&M at one point. Give me a break. Zach Calzada.
Old man Calzada.
I will say this. I'm fascinated by this team because the early reports are the offensive line's going to be better. Sure, whatever. It can't be worse. but there's so many new parts there. The receiving room is going to be better. Okay, maybe, sure. The running back room is better. It's deeper. Okay. Zach Calzada is a leader. Okay. You lost some dudes on defense, but those dudes didn't play worth a damn. Like Deion Walker last year. I love Deion Walker. I still am trying to figure out what the hell happened to him last year. He was a unmitigated disaster. He played hurt, I guess, and I'm going to guess he at some point went. There's a lot of rumblings that NIL got in the way of this locker room. That guys were jealous of what other guys were making. Okay, I'm going to give you that was last year, but I mean, even if you're better against that schedule, good luck, bro.
Against that schedule, and it's the SEC, Paul. I mean, like, your offensive line can be better. They're still giving up a ton of sacks, like going against SEC pass rushers. So
I will say this: that second game against Ole Miss is fascinating because they did beat them last year. So you can imagine what Ole Miss is feeling. It cost Ole Miss a spot in the college football playoff. It is at home. You're probably going to come off of a nice win over Toledo. You catch Ole Miss maybe early in the year, like you did last year. The home thing to it. That game fast, because if you steal that win, then you're getting to 5. And you're probably getting to a bowl, to be honest with you. You're going to probably find enough ways to get to 6 at that point. So that second game of the year against Ole Miss, I think it dictates everything. Like, can you hold up against SEC competition? Is your defense good enough against good SEC competition? Is your offensive line good enough? Is Zach Calzada good enough? I think you're going to find that out pretty damn quickly, obviously, in game number 2.
If this season goes as projected, they finish second last in the SEC, they win, let's call it 4 games. Is Stoops gone?
I think so. Yeah, I would even think he may say I'm good. Now he's
That's
probably
what I was thinking. He might just be over it at that point. It's going to get too hot, right?
Now there's a lot of money on the table, so it would have to be him saying, "Give me my money and I'll go." That's what it will come down to. At that point, listen.
How many years does he have left?
That's a great question.
Is there a good buyout thing come to here?
It's a chunk. The thing is, I think he feels like he's kind of hit the reset button. He's delegated some of the NIL stuff to others where, like, he's even talked about last year, his NIL, he dealt with NIL so much and didn't get a chance to coach football as much. And he's kind of gotten back to coaching football and delegating other duties to people. All well and good. Brother, Vince Marrow left for a reason. Do you think the guy doesn't see the writing on the wall of, listen, I got a job security in Louisville for years because of where Jeff Brom is taking that program. I'm getting out before the posse gets me, and I have to start looking for a job.
Anything else on college football? Like I said, we'll talk more about storylines and stuff here in a week or two. But
you realize 2 weeks from tomorrow, we actually have real games. The 23rd, there's a hand. It's not an awful slate. It's not a lot of slate. It's not a major slate. It's not a big slate.
But there's a big game, right?
And that, it's
they always put like one decent game that week.
Yeah, Iowa State's playing somebody that day. I can't remember what it is, to be honest with you. But yeah, I off the top of my head, I can't remember what it was. But I know Iowa State's playing somebody that day. And then UC opens up on that Thursday. Actually, 3 weeks from yesterday, they open up on the 28th.
Iowa State at Kansas State at noon that day.
Yeah,
good game.
I like it. That first weekend, though, I mean, some of the matchups on that first weekend, my Lord.
Yeah, the 30th.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun day of football. We're looking forward to it. We'll talk more about that the next couple of weeks. Cincinnati basketball back in the news again this week. Skinny, a few things here. One, they added a new player for this year's roster, Jordy Rodriguez, an overseas international edition, 6'6" wing shooter. Sounds like a guy that they're expecting to play minutes right away. It sounds like this isn't just a end of the bench developmental guy. It sounds like they think he's going to play this year and make an impact.
They sure could use it.
I mean, another offensive piece, if nothing else. I think that's what we were talking about last time we were talking about their roster is you'd love a little more offensive firepower. If this guy can knock down some outside shots, they've been looking for someone that can do that the last few years. It didn't work out last year with the kid from Bradley, but maybe this is the missing link they've been trying to find.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope so for them because, I mean, the flip side would be, is he a poor man's CMOS?
Yeah, well, if he's that good, I think they'd take it. I don't know. That's the defense is obviously a concern when you talk about an international guy who's a wing shooter at that frame, but we'll see what he looks like when he gets here. It's always tough to judge these guys based on international tape, but if nothing else, it seems like another piece for Wes Miller to work with this fall. And then the other piece of news was we talked about it on last week's show, the Jizzle James stuff he was posting on his Instagram, posting pictures of him in a Georgia jersey, posting screenshots of direct messages with his agent saying he wanted out of Cincinnati and he would play in the G League if he had to. Well, this week we got a picture from John Lucas, who is a former NBA player, now runs a rehab facility down in Texas. And it would seem that Jizzle is getting some help for whatever issues he has going on. Typically, it's substance abuse when you go down to John Lucas's rehab center, but you can still work on your game there, still work out, and be surrounded by other athletes and basketball players. So the Jizzle James news, this is a big story for Cincinnati basketball. It's interesting to me because some people got like mad about the fact that we talked about it last week on the show. And I don't really understand that. This is a guy who's making like $1 million to play basketball in the city. It's a pretty big story. And he's posting it publicly on his own social media accounts that he wants to leave and that he's going to Georgia.
I thought we were pretty compassionate about it, to be quite frank.
Yeah, I get, and also, by the way, the fact that he might have a substance abuse issue and he's getting help for that doesn't change what I said last week. I still think there would be teammates who are seeing someone do all the wrong things that would be bothered by the fact that he's going to make a lot more money than they are if he's still in that locker room, if he's still working there.
That to me is the silent killer of college athletics at the moment. Internal fighting among, he's making more than me. Why is he? What? I'm playing more than him. Why is he making more than me? I'm telling you that to me is the thing right now. That's the underbelly of when things goes. Listen, when you're winning, that probably all goes away and everybody's cool. But as soon as the losing starts, I think the money becomes. I think that literally killed Kentucky football last year. I think it killed it.
Well, we've heard plenty of cases where people are saying, yeah, that was the issue. That locker room was a disaster. Those guys didn't get along, what have you. That's happening more and more often because of this.
Mike Loxley, who's the head football coach at Maryland, who apparently seems to think he's a great locker room guy. He said, I'm Coach Locks. I'm the guy that builds locker room culture. But he talked about like literally NIL tore his locker room apart and there was nothing he could do about it. I mean, it's a thing at the moment.
It's definitely a thing. Look, I think one thing about this new era of online and fans or whatever, there's a difference between being like, hey, I've got inside sources that are telling me this is happening or this is going on, and you're reporting something about someone. There's also this, like, we're talking about what's going on in the sports world in Cincinnati, right? Last week, what was going on is that Jizzle James, one of the best athletes in Cincinnati and the highest paid ones, was going nuts on social media. He's tweeting out or sending out all types of pictures on his Instagram and
this wasn't just, hey, sources said, or I'm hearing this. I mean, this stuff he put that stuff out there.
Yes, and then we're speculating on like, hey, what's going on? Is he going to be allowed back? Is this good if he's allowed back? That's how no one was saying, hey, we've got inside information. Here's what's going on with Jizzle James, and here's what's changing. But like, you are allowed to talk about these. We've gotten so overly sensitive, and everything's activism. We're all fighting against these causes where it's like you're allowed to talk about someone publicly posting these things in a very high-paid, public-facing job. That's what he gets paid $1 million to play basketball in our city. If he's going to post about that on social media, people are going to react to it.
And I'll go to this part. Did John Lucas and them need to put that picture out? I mean, was that necessary? I
would assume maybe Wes I would assume UC and Jizzle. Maybe
how about just say something about it?
That would seem like a more reasonable option to me.
Yeah, and look, a much more reasonable option of, hey guys, here's what's going on. We're going to respect his privacy this time, and when he gets out of this, then we'll figure out where things are going from here.
That seems like a simple way to handle it.
And then all of a sudden, John Lucas, who is infamous for the rehab stuff and went through his drug problems when he was a player, and has made himself a cottage industry of doing this. I guess congratulations to you. You're making money off it. Good for you. All those things. How about we have that be private? Right?
Yeah. I mean, it seems weird that John Lucas is the one to put out sort of the unofficial press release on what's going on with Jizzle James. But either way, I think UC is going to have an issue when he's ready to come back, if he is. I don't know that it's going to be as easy as just slotting him back into like the starting point guard role and everything's good to go after that. So, I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. And obviously, if he doesn't come back, then you have you got to figure out your roster from there. I guess you go back to Day at the point guard spot, right?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. All right. We do have one Ask Skinny Anything. I guess we can ask it here. Very random one to just have one. But what's the worst stadium bathroom situation you've ever experienced?
Well, I'll I'll go press box stadium bathroom issue. Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, which is no longer. It was where the Colts used to play, and then where the Ravens played when they first came back to Baltimore. This was 1996. Todd Archer, who covers the Dallas Cowboys for the Dallas Morning News, was the beat reporter. I was the backup, and Bill Cook was the columnist. So the three of us go to Baltimore to cover the game for the former Cincinnati Post. And in the press box bathroom, there's one urinal and one stall. And I had over imbibed the night before, and I was throwing up in the stall.
Good for you.
I'm in the stall, and I hear a gentleman taking a leak next to me. This is one of my favorite stories of all time, honest to God's truth. And I'm in there just, and I hear the guy tinkling, and I'm like, okay, do it again. Clean myself up, come out, kind of rinse my mouth out and go. So when I open the stall, the gentleman taking a leak was none other than Johnny Unitas. The best was when he literally goes, "You all right in there, son?" I go, "Yes, sir." And so when I came, he goes, "Rough night, huh?" I go, "Yup." He goes, "I've been there."
I bet he has.
I bet he has too.
I bet he has.
My Johnny U story, but it was they had this one toilet and one urinal, one stall.
Incredible. I mean, the best part of it is Johnny Unitas is the person on the outside of the stall after you get out. I mean, it couldn't have been planned any better than that for you.
Correct. You all right in there, son? Yes, sir, Mr. Unitas, sir. I'm fine.
I mean, in the moment, you probably didn't want that to happen, but looking back, it couldn't have worked out better, right? Because now you have that story to tell.
Absolutely. No, it's one of my favorite stories. Everybody loves that story. I will say the ones that I don't like in stadiums, and it's usually like high school stadiums, it's that giant trough. They don't do that much anymore.
That's a weird one.
You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah, we all know that. Aren't those weird?
Yeah, it's very strange to be like, I'm not too shy about it, but it's a little weird to do the trough thing where you're peeing on each other, essentially.
Yes,
I mean,
correct.
There's just too much splashing going on in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody thought that was ever a good idea.
You know what I do love? And I don't know why they got rid of them. It seems like they would be more effective. Maybe it causes a splatter issue too. It must have, because they got rid of them everywhere. But long johns, I like them go all the way down to the floor. The urinals?
Oh, I do too. No, but I think that's probably the case. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Just too much splatter on the floor?
Yeah,
it's not sanitary or something?
Yeah, that's probably right, but I'm kind of with you on that.
It just felt like the best solution. You hit it high on the wall, it just kind of slides down. You don't get the splatter back on you. And
it's kind of a game. You play a little game.
And you can't possibly miss.
Yeah, no, right.
I mean, there's no missing. Everyone can be drunk. They're going to hit the long john. So, Milwaukee, the Mecca.
Those. Oh, the Mecca's got it.
They still have long johns in there. Old facility, great facility. A little rundown at this point, but they still got long johns. I always appreciate that.
I love the Mecca. I never covered a game in the Mecca. Okay, I love it. Look at you. No sauce either, right? You don't do breakfast. You don't. Do you put sauce on any of it?
Not for breakfast, but normally I do fire sauce.
Okay, yeah, okay. You haven't tried it with? I bet you'd be pretty good with the breakfast burrito.
I've done it. It's just not necessary.
Okay, I got you. No drink from there. Just a side drink on your own.
CZ always Coke Zero, baby. Fountain Coke Zero from UDF. Always.
Right, so day 8, right? Yes, it's August 8th. 23 more days.
That's day 8 in the books. Eating Taco Bell every day during the entire month of August.
I'm trying to sober you up here. 23 more days. You got this?
I'm more confident in it than I've ever been. I told you this is how I am. I crave it more the more I eat it. I do. The thing I had yesterday, Skinny, it was awesome. I logged on the app. They had brand new steak melt burritos on there that just came out yesterday. Ooh. So I got the burrito, only a $3 menu item. Incredible. Like, I want to get that again today.
Like, was that enough to fill you up?
It was, but I got both of them because they had 2 new ones. So I was like, I got to try them both. They got 2 new ones. It was way too much, honestly. I'm still feeling it.
Okay.
Yeah.
August 23rd, I want to see where we're at with this. I really and truly, I'm fascinated by this.
That'll be college football. I'll be eating Taco Bell and watching college football on the 23rd.
At the rate you're going, you're going to be emaciated. You're going to be like 143 pounds at that point going, I can't get enough.
No, my goal is to be, I was 162.2 on the day we started. I want to be 162 flat when we end.
All right, fair enough. Just a slight.
Just stay under like I told you I would.
Like a little water weight is taken off of you.
Yeah. I'm not trying to lose a bunch of pounds here.
That's fabulous. It's good stuff. Well, Rick, keep crunching away. Appreciate your guile on this of trying to fight your way through it, brother.
I like that you couldn't figure out how to actually describe it because there is no way to describe what I'm doing. There's no
really
reason to do it.
It's indescribable for sure.
Yeah. It's one idiot online said something to me about it, and I was like, I'm going to do it then.
Yeah, that's usually
look, Skinny. Some people climb mountains. Some people run marathons. I eat Taco Bell for a month. We all need a challenge.
I'll leave with this. The good part is that TikTok was not around when you were in high school to take on the stupid TikTok challenges because you're dumb enough to do that, aren't you?
I'd be the dead kid eating Tide Pods.
Correct.
Yeah.
Idiot. You go, what are you thinking? They told me to do it on TikTok.
That's actually accurate, yes.
I know that. Yeah. All right, for Rick Broering, I'm Richard Skinner. Thanks for being with us. This has been the Skinny Podcast, the weekly potpourri edition presented by Blake, the Attorney Mason.